Omo namo mezo shiriye namo sushi. Namo uye dharma shiriye Omo namo mezo shiriye namo sushi. Namo uye dharma shiriye Omo namo mezo shiriye namo sushi. Namo uye dharma shiriye Omo namo mezo shiriye namo sushi. Namo uye dharma shiriye Please. Yeah. So refresh refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and then generate altruistic motivation to make life most meaningful, this very session be most beneficial. Sanje Jodan Zoje Jonamala Janju Badu Dani Jazonji Daji Jeje Gebe Sonamaji Dola Benje Zanje Drubarai Jo Sanje Jodan Zoje Jonam Janju Badu Dani Jazonji Daji Jeje Gebe Sonamaji Dola Benje Sanje Drubarai Sho Sanje Chedan Zoje Jonamala Daje Jeje Jebe Zonama Sanje Drubarai. Yeah, pay Jajamani Buddha, then to all the lineage gurus. In particularly thinking of absolute present of Kyabchen Lama Subarimpoche, His Holiness, Atisha, Shantideva, Sirlingpa, Domdamba, Podova, then see Chogi Jansen. Simply absolute, they are present among us. Then whatever Dharma sharing is happening is very much the wisdoms are coming from them, and the wisdom carry the spiritual transmission to our spiritual heart, so that the blessing can help us to ripen our heart, transform our heart swiftly. Gange dozene zone dawadam je bambe jere tambe chene tuen jebe Kodam de la cha ze lo. Tonye nye ju son do ju be la ma ze je zen ju kan je den zheng. Cha na be mo den zen jia zon la so wa dep so da ju xin je lo. Yeah, so then I take a moment to reflect on the preciousness of our human life and the preciousness of each and individual our life. Simply understanding that you are landed in the place where all the three-time Buddhas of the fortunate eon display their enlightened deeds. How amazing is that? How fortunate that my life is so meaningful that I met the Buddha Dharma, in particularly Mayanic Dharma, in particularly the practice of Lojong, practice of mind training through the tools of the heart Dharma, the bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness, through the most sacred practice of Tonglen, practice of taking and giving. What can be more precious than that? That itself is proven that we have a great stores of merit that accumulated in the past. The wealth of merit, wealth of goodness, if it is in material form, if you compare the entire universe, the southern world, filled with the precious stone, diamond, and you are owning that. The meritorious value, the real value of the preciousness and the merit that you have is numberless times greater than that. The material, the wealth, even you own the entire, the amount of fill the entire world is not even near. It is tiny fraction. Even the samsaric existence is unfavorable realm, but because of having the tools of true altruism, having the tools of the Dharma, in particularly the altruistic Dharma, make everything, even samsara, is so meaningful. Even in case individually, at this very position, at this very time, that if going through certain kind of challenges, could be health, could be relationship, financial challenges, whatever it may be, in the practice of this true altruism, in the method that you are equipped with of this practice of true altruism, these obstacles are become like a gem. This will help us to become stronger. This problem, this difficulty, whatever it may be, this is the one that's going to shape me to become bodhisattva. So from that point of view, I'm in the absolute best position. And no question about those of individual that was enjoying good health, prosperity, perfect relationship, and that too is amazingly, conducive environment for the same purpose. So we all are in equal position. Whatever experiences is going on, good or bad, in the practice of altruism, we all are in the same position, very favorable position. So knowing that, have this very positive and courageous heart and vision, very hopeful, very beautiful, amazingly beautiful, meaningful days to come, moments to come, years to come. It's amazingly beautiful world is waiting for you. Remember that, okay? In the eyes of true altruism, now, wherever you go, whatever you do, you see everything become meaningful. You are fully protected by this, most powerful, the shield protections of the wisdom of emptiness, wisdom of interdependent existence, and attitude of bodhicitta. Nothing can destroy you, or nothing can harm you in that manner. Nothing can make you weak, make you powerless. Nothing can hurt you. You see, now on you have to understand that I cannot be hurt by anybody. So we have to recognize that. See, our recognition of who we are, what our capability is, that's the way it goes wrong. You see, if we don't understand well about ourselves, our ability, that's the way the fear comes from. That's the way where you feel weak, suffering, difficult. So we have a choice in our hand. We have a choice in our hand. Don't excuse saying that, oh, I'm just beginner. I'm just start to train my mind. How can you expect me to be so strong? No excuse. You have to give some respect to yourself. You see, you may be respecting whole world, but you forget to respect yourself, who really you are. You see, that is almost as equally as you have no respect to Buddha. Make sense? That's equal as you have no respect to Buddha. You see, if you don't respect the Buddha within you, then how much you bow outside is a bit of, how to say, double standard, isn't it? Yeah. So very much from there you start the happiness, you see, recognitions of who really you are, what ability you have. Then that's where the genuine, true happiness starts. So that's very, very important to enjoy the life. Otherwise, nothing can make you happy. Even sensually also cannot make you happy. Even there's some sensual comforts comes in your way, this happiness is like so temporal, just moment disappeared, like that. But we have the ability to, experience true happiness, lasting happiness. You see, we did talk about heart of rejoicing, and yesterday during the puja, every time rejoicing we pause, So not only during Tara Puja we practice that, we have to practice all the time, recognizing who you are, the Buddha being, and the quality of, the innate quality, okay. The fully expressions of quality of altruism may not be there yet, but innate quality of this true altruism is already there within us. That's our true nature. You see, that's our true potential. So just simply recognize that and feel happy about it. Just acknowledge that. So that each time you acknowledge means you're rejoicing. You see, and that heart of rejoicing bring happiness, bring genuine happiness, valid happiness, true happiness. You see, so we really have a choice. Choose to keep thinking about that. For 1 hour happiness. 1 day happiness. 1 week, one whole week happiness. You see. So this is something we have to kind of, take away. At least like this. We need to, we need to, pack in our mindfulness. Not in the suitcase, pack in the mindfulness and utilize it. You see, So just feel, I'm in the best position, and just feel like that. Okay. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I almost forget to say good morning. So we will go through the text. So this is my reading examination. Reading English examination. So so here it's page 100. Says, where is this enemy? It is in your heart. So now we come to know the real problem maker, the giver of the suffering or problems, obstacles, is not outside there, isn't it? So yesterday we learned that it is the self itself is the main. It is the enemy, the sole enemy, and that self is talking about the false person, the falsely identified me, falsely identified me, or I, or self. So that's the one, right? And also briefly mentioned that that falsely self, who is the root of all the problems, appears in different phases. Remember? Different phases. The anger, that when anger arises, this the enemy, appear in the face of anger. So attachment arises, jealousy arises, whatever negative emotion, depression arises, low self-esteem arises, harmful thoughts to self and others arises, confusion arises. So all these are different phases, different expressions of the enemy within, the self-grasping ignorant, including of the self-cherishing centered attitude is also one of the another phase. So this is something we need to remember in our mindfulness. We need to remember whenever negative emotion arises, we have to recognize. We have to acknowledge. Oh, this is problem maker. So the job of the mindfulness, even though securing the good mind within our system, but at the same time also aware of the intrusions of the harm givers, intrusions of the negative emotions. So just mindfulness alone, cannot handle to take care of ourselves, from the harm. So we need assistant. The assistant is called the introspection, the introspective mind. Sharp in the sense that always, stay, alert in detecting many situations, many situations, many objects. Mindfulness is very much more focused, more settled, more focused. So, if the obstacles are overwhelming, if the obstacles are in great force, and it attacks in many ways, then mindfulness alone cannot handle. You see, so you need two kind of guard to our three doors, especially our mind, the two kind of guards. And these two guards help each other, supplement to each other to take care of us. You see, so introspection is very much like the guard of the main outside door. The mindfulness is the guard of the inner door, the main inner door. You see, so I usually give example. These two guards, as if holding a walkie-talkie, walkie-talkie, and not maybe WhatsApp. The internet never interrupting one. The internet always 24 hours in a high speed. So, and also the alarm is very loud, ding 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 like that. So the introspection, see any sign of any of the negative emotion, then walkie-talkie to the inner guard, the mindfulness. You say, hold the door tighter, stronger, because there are possibility of attack. You see? So that's how that communication should happen. You see, so so this is happening within our own mental activities. You need to assign different mind, different jobs. You see, and we have the ability to do multitasking in that way. You see, when the mindfulness is like very much it is main function, then the rest of the other mind, including introspective mind, I don't know English, I don't know how to say, but in Tibetan called Paulanyal is not obvious, but it's very present there, but not obvious. But it is absolutely present there. And whenever the strength of mindfulness reduces, then the alertness of the introspection become bigger. So whenever the introspection is getting bigger force, mindfulness start to have some little time to rest. Like normal the bodyguards, how they do, is they have a different time, different assignments. So some get a rest and some become more alert. So behave exactly like that. So you just need to at least acknowledge there's such kind of mind that I have, and I'm utilizing them. That's the way how you make use of these different qualities of the mind. So first we know the language. There's such called introspection, such mind called mindfulness. There's such thing called obstacle like anger, situations of anger, etc. You see, so I'm completely in that kind of like within the boundary of the protection within these two quality mind. So that itself will help us to be taken care by these two mindfulness and introspection. So like that. Okay, so Shantideva taught, for example, if this ancient enemy long settled, the sole cause of steadily increasing cause of harm has found its home within my very heart. How can there be joy for me within this self-existent? So this problem maker, this self-grasping ignorant, is very initial, very first time when we came into existence. Since then, it's with us. So it is really, the enemy for a long time. And it has been, throughout the time, it has been gathering more and more harmful resources due to this ignorant grasping to the false eye. Accumulate so much of greater force of harm to us. So it is so settled in our system. So because of that, even when we are in the environment of happiness, we don't know how to be happy. So even when we meet the Dharma, in many cases we don't know how to practice the Dharma. You see, even when we practice the Dharma, there's so much obstacle, so much of confusions, misunderstandings. It's so difficult to become, the Dharma as a path. You see, so therefore. Like even after, we realize that, before meeting Dharma, there are a lot of troubles. Then we thought that we felt that we need solution to that, and it seems like there's no solution in a worldly knowledge, worldly environment. Then you look, you very much search for spiritual path, the Dharma path. So after meet the Dharma, yes, there's a benefit, but then it's still disturbed. It's still they not completely overcome the challenges, especially the suffering in relation to our mind, the mindset. not completely transformed, you see. So then, along the learning of Dharma, we take many precepts, we learn many philosophies of teachings, many different lineages, different traditions. But then still, not fully settled. Still, there's a lot of anxieties occurring of the old habitual patterns, and you see. So there's some even lay practitioners. They for the big transformation in the path, they even become sangha, monks or nuns. After becoming monks or nuns, also stay as a miserable. There are many miserable monks and nuns. Even have the vows completely adorned with vow of renunciation, as if the initial intention is you renounce samsaric thinking, renounce from being under the control of self-grasping, ignorant, and self-cherishing attitude, even though not realized yet. But the vows bring the mindfulness. The vow is all about mindfulness. Why there's so many numbers of vows are there is always remembering each and every one of them. Occupied our body, speech, and mind. At least through the heart. Very much stay counting those vows. In every action is checking, being mindful whether my actions of body, speech, and mind going align with the vow or not. You see. So when you do that, there's no room for us to our mind get the intrusions of self-grasping, ignorant, and self-cherishing attitude. It doesn't mean we are purified already, negated already, but there's no room in our awareness of the samsaric thing, because your mind is too busy checking whether my action is aligned with the precept or not. Then there's no room to feel upset. There's no room to feel difficult of life. Your heart will be filled with sense of meaning. The meaning is joyful thing. Heart filled with appreciation. You see, heart very much filled contentment. There's no room for fear of uncertainty of future, because you're living fully in the present, in the mindfulness of the vows. You see, and you have no room in your mind. There's no room to indulge in the past all negative patterns of thoughts. So if you are hanging on to past negative patterns of thought, means you are not fully in the vow. If you are, heart concerning the uncertainty of future, means also you are not fully present with the vows. You see, so when emotionally disturbed, when we say, my past emotion attacking me, means there's a space that you provided to the intrusions of the past emotion. That means that space you are not in the precept. You see, when we talk about precept, day and night, 24 hours, we can, when we say we are monk or nun, you see, we have to be monk or nun 24 hours, And only daytime become monk, nighttime don't become monk, cannot do like that, isn't it? 24 hours. So So the monk or nun meaning is renounce. Renounce. So then you may ask, then how to be mindful when I go to bed? So the motivation is the thing that it infuse before go to bed until you completely doze off. You doze off with the mindfulness of the precepts. You're thinking. Every single moment is aligned with the precept or not. Then doze off. The first thought you wake up. You wake up with the heart of rejoicing of I'm still alive in the precept. You see, so this is not just for monks and nuns, even for those who practice refuge precepts, lay precepts, Bodhisattva precepts. This is how should be practiced, isn't it? You see, so it's not like, how to say, it's like you are gifted diamond. Yeah, that's in the worldly world, it's quite valuable thing, isn't it? So gifted one full bag of diamond, maybe let's say 10 kilo. Enough for one life. More than enough, isn't it? If it's diamond 10 kilo, it's quite a lot. So yeah. So you take it, but then you're not being aware. You're not being aware of this preciousness and utilizing it now. You're poor. You're poor. As equal as you don't have that diamond. You see, let's say that someone have nothing. No food, no shelter, nothing, and giving 10 kilos of diamond. But then you don't have the awareness of knowing that I have diamond, and even you know I have diamond, but not utilizing it. Not utilizing it. You continue to stay no food. You continue to stay no shelter. You are no different than before have the diamond and after have the diamond, isn't it? So the precepts are very much like a diamond. Okay, an example, diamond, the richness given to you for your happiness. You see, and we need to be fully present in our awareness of utilizing that diamond to really to feed you with the fulfillment of virtue. You see, so when you are fully present, if the vow is for lifetime vow, refuge is lifetime vow, the Sangha vow is lifetime vows. Buddhist vow is beyond this lifetime. Yeah. So means until to the last breath, we have to uphold the vows. Means uphold means use it. We have to use the vow. Uphold the vows. So how to use? It's simply fully being the vows, being the precepts, isn't it? And that is so richful, so that you feel abundantness, greatness, fulfillment. You see. So if you are in that, then there's no room for us to get distracted or sidetracked, into some samsaric or worldly concern. You see. So this is very, very, very important. Especially, it is quite disastrous that become a very senior in Dhamma practice, then emotionally like so traumatized. And sometimes we see, we sometimes witness, or practice Dhamma 40 years, 50 years, but then looking at the crisis of emotion is worse than anyone else. It's like so traumatized, really don't know how to handle the mind. So upset, so angry, so emotional. So that's a really crisis. You see. Then even as a sangha, you see, before layperson, happy. After become sangha, so miserable, so emotionally hijacked. Then that's truly disaster. You see, so didn't know how to practice. You see, so that clearly showing that didn't manage to live fully in the vow. You see, so vow is not like just someone pass to you and that's it. Wear the robes, and no, it's about heart. It says in the Vinayaka, sungwe semba. Sungwe semba means how to say. Sungwa means guard, protect. Or the awareness of the mind. Of that whatever precept say, don't kill means having awareness of the mind, engaging in not killing. So every vow is something like that. So that has to be. It's not necessarily that always need to be an animal that you are not killing. Not like that. Ever aware of abstaining from not killing. Ever aware that being protecting the life is like precept of the vow of not killing. So when we accumulate the merit of the vow of not killing, doesn't mean you're always out there to save life physically. The practice is all about the mindfulness. You see. So that mindfulness, when you lost that mindfulness, there's a void of that precept. You see, so it's in one way it's really sounds like so stressful. Have to be fully mindful, but it's not stressful. It is like joy. It is amazing. When you live fully in that kind of mindfulness, it's like you have the whole world. Your life is so vibrant, lively. Otherwise feel dead. You see? So with that kind of mindfulness, then you go to bed. It's like how to say? There's no room for feeling loneliness, feeling cold. Feeling like alone. It's so much comfort, richness. And because of that, even the bed can be very hard, but you feel so soft. It's the weather may be so cold, but you still feel warm. So something like that. So if we don't do that, then how can there be joy for me within this silent existence? If we don't do like that, because the precept of the ignorant and his effort, the force is so forceful, so settled in our system, it will make sure we only suffer. So we have to be, what do you call, one step ahead. From now on, one step ahead. You see, if you behave so smart, I will behave even smarter. If you have a lot of forces, like you have military of attachment, anger, jealousy, laziness, blah blah. No, I also have the force of enthusiasticness, of wisdom, and attitude, and love, and compassion, forgiveness, blah 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 blah. So like last night, the Tara Puja chanting, pop, 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 like that. The ignorant introduce. I have this force, I have this force. We introduce all 21 Tara. The praises, is it 21 Tara? You chant, blah, 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 like that. So that's why all the Dharma terms, Dharma knowledge, all the different mantras, different sutras, there are some individual practitioners just to stay mindfulness in the path, non-stop, they just recite sutra. Recite, repeat, recite, like that. You see, if I need to give example, in my own family, I have one auntie. So since young, she's how to say, she know how to read, but she didn't study. So she may not understand all the meaning what she's reading. Some more she's reading volumes after volumes. But morning to night until she go to bed, she just recite. But the one thing that make her to do that is she knew, she was introduced that there's a benefit, and the benefit of purification and accumulation of merit. So that kind of prepare irresistible faith and conviction, and that keeps her mind, so happy, so fresh, So I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now she's over 70s. Since young, she's been doing that. So I have another example. Yesterday we saw some little nuns came here from Russian nunnery. That when Kyabsar Lama Sopa Rinpoche, take care of this nunnery, Rinpoche sent myself and our Kopan monastery manager, and there's another Lama to go and, survey the nunnery, the monastery, how to help them. So we met with that time, the oldest nun. I think she might be around 80s, 90s, I think. So she usually never opens her door, even within the nunnery. She always stay inside. So she's doing retreat. So I think she become a nun, I think age of 7, maybe 6, 7 years old. So we request to visit in her room. So it was initially not allowed. Maybe I think when I was a young time, maybe she heard about me or maybe saw me. So they mentioned about, I'm here. So she allowed. Then basically all of us. So the moment she opened the door, we express why we are here. We want to. We're here to make more comfortable for. So she expressed so much kind of humbleness and bit of shyness. She said, "I have nothing here, so please, no need to come." Normally we say, I have everything, please come, isn't it? He said, "I have nothing, so therefore no need to come." So we went in at her kind of the rock fence, a small area. So there's few lines of, you see some greens. I don't know what is that. Maybe it must be onion or I don't know, but just few. And there's no sign of food at all. And we went inside her room. There's a very old torn carpet, wool carpet, handmade carpet, but a lot of hole. And in the hole is little rocks. And I think that must be her bed. Then there's a fire stove, but you can see it's no fire. And we so I spot one text, very how to say, it's like a rice paper or text, but torn and black with all the yeah. So we look at it. It is Diamond Cutter Sutra, the Diamond Cutter Sutra. So it's like kind of like traditional kind of text like this. So the whole possession is that text and that torn carpet. And I think there's a pot there, but It's like as if like never touched like that. So anyway, so of course we say we want to, bring food and want to make. So she said, no, I'm everything fine, everything fine. So then we say, what this text for? And she says, I don't know anything. I don't know Dharma. I don't know anything. So only thing I do is read this text repeatedly. For since the day that she know how to read up to today. So he says, I don't know anything. And I say, why you dedicate your life just reading this text? Well, you just said you don't know anything. He said, I want all sentient beings suffering ripen upon me. May whatever merit I accumulate reading this text ripen upon all the sentient beings. No sentient being has to suffer. Unbelievable. Dedicate around 7, 8 years old up to now 80, 90 years old. Such dedication. And the meaning that, the purpose that she read, I think she actually know the hard teachings of the Dharma. She know the Tonglen. She's practicing Tonglen. And also Dhammapada Sutra usually utilize the very powerful sutra to ripen other suffering onto the self-cherishing, self-grasping ignorant. The sutra understood very powerful. Let's say if someone going through certain nasty illness, then reading the Dhammapada Sutra understood is one of very effective to purify, because it directly antidote to the self-grasping ignorant. It is main theme of the practice is emptiness. You see, so so this Anila, but at the same time, while having nothing, and you can see from her robes is like completely torn, but then there's a glow in her, and that you can feel it, that deep kind of love and compassion to all, with that humble kind of gesture, very, very gentle, humble gesture. You can just literally feel like, everyone is like put in under her arm like that, So it's okay, now I don't know where this story came. Yes. Yeah. So even in that condition, so if you fully live with the path, the purpose, the meaning, virtue, the Dharma, then even a person in that condition from the outwardly is like poorest person. Maybe it looks like the most miserable person, but actually most joyful person, filled with virtues, But if we are not mindful of the Dharma or the precepts, then you see there's no room will spare by the force of the ignorant and self-cherishing attitude and rest of the delusions. There won't be even a moment of really like a happy life, happy like that, So he says, think that this kind of behavior, living on the head, yet not giving victory to the eyes, is most inappropriate. Thus the focus or the sight of this self-grasping, which is the source of all defect, is the very body you are born into. Since the beginningless lifetime, you have held onto an I when there was none, and have held onto the self when there was none. Self-grasping is fought with the defect, and it has the source of all sufferings. So to cherish, look at, and protect this discolored human corpse, a lump of pus and blood and the sac of mucus is like craving a bag of thorn on your back. Well, naked happiness could result if you let go. But instead, you believe that the pursuing self-interest will bring happiness and thus sink ever deeper into suffering as taught as you crave it. Shantideva too state the following verse. So because of self-grasping ignorance, because of establishing false I, then you have a grasping to the rest of the phenomena. Start with your form. You say, my body, my life, my liking, my disliking, in particularly to the our form, physical form, is one of the most attached object to us, very much more than anything else. You see, so we deepen our attachment to this body, even while we have met the Dharma. If we are not mindful, even while we met the Dharma, met the antidote, but one thing that is still continue to strengthen it is a negative impact is the attachment to our body. You see, so when we meditate on the emptiness of the form, like what taught in the Heart Sutra, form, feeling, etc., then that's the way that you can release from the bondage of the grasping in relation to form. You see, if we don't exercise now, then one of the great form of suffering that understood that we experience at the time of passing away, the grasping or attachment to the body, the seeing the separation, the self with the body is one of the most terrifying. Seeing self separating, seeing the false I separating from it is dependent. The base, which is mainly the form, physical form, for this human mind, is understood is one of most terrifying. So now it's time to practice detachment. So detachment doesn't mean you neglect your body, you abuse your body. No, it doesn't mean that. You must take care of your body. You see, so there's two aspects of teaching practice here. One is to see all the flaws of the human aggregates, including start with the body. As mentioned before, it is just a corpse that which is, very much, filled with blood, pus, mucus, blah blah blah, all these nasty things, and it has its own benefit to release from the bondage of attachment, which will have a less trouble. Anything to do with this body, even along the process of the life, the aging, have a lesser inconvenience in relation to our body. When there's a sickness occur to our body, we have a less troubled mind. Then especially when the death comes in our way, then we don't have to suffer, that much as a natural kind of occurrence of suffering due to the hallucinated accumulation that in relation to the attachment grasping to the body, you see. So that's one thing. But at the same time, there's another meditation is to think about the preciousness of these human aggregates. We talked about it before. The indestructible drop. You see, that's everything where the physical body started from. The subtle physical body, indestructible drop. The gross physical body, the brain and bones and all the cells that we have now. You see, and because of this vehicle, we at least become visible to the human world. We at least do a lot of great things, like you see, if there's no physical body, how to be here, isn't it? How to circumambulate the stupa, etc. How to do prostration, etc., etc. You see, so there's a true meditation that both are equally important to meditate, to practice. You see, the more you see the samsaric limitations to the body, in fact, you gain more respect to the body. It's not like we will start to abuse. This is the benefit of the Dharma. You see, the more you see limitations of the three lower realms, we gain more respect to the existence of the three lower realms. The respect is the compassion. You see, the more respect you gain, the more compassion you gain towards this body. You see, so so it's not a bad thing to think. Do the first kind of meditation, like as guided here. So Shantideva says, whatever suffering is in the world arises from wishing for one's own happiness. One's own happiness, worst case, is in the expense of others' suffering. And one's own happiness is one's own the false eyes demand. The happiness that demanded by false eye, the false person is talking about that. Bringing happiness to the legitimate person is almost important. That's everything we do for that, isn't it? We want to benefit others. We want to liberate all sentient beings to full enlightenment. One of the key purpose is to really to have the lasting happiness to self, the legitimate self. That's why even in the definition of bodhicitta, the definition of bodhicitta has a two aspect of mind. I want to abide entire sentient being in the state of full enlightenment. First attitude. For that reason, I must become Buddha. So this two mind has to be there in order to qualify to be bodhicitta. You see, or in another way, I must become Buddha. I must achieve the state of everlasting happiness for the benefit of the everlasting happiness of the entire sentient being. So you see, so the everlasting happiness to yourself is utmost important. You see, when you are strong, you can bring power to others. When you are weak, you won't, isn't it? If you are not healthy, how are you going to contribute to the well-being of others? So first is you have to be strong. You have to be happy. You see. So therefore, arises from the wish of one's own happiness. So you see, all the suffering arises wishing the happiness of one's own is referring to not this legitimate self. Is talking about the false I. So false I has underlining, whether say it or not, you don't care about anybody else. You only care about yourself. This is the idea of the ignorant. The legitimate person won't think like that. You see, the legitimate person is very logical, very understanding, has a lot of wisdom. You see, so whatever happiness in the world arises from the wish for others' happiness. You see. So now here, this is tricky. Others, you are also included. Think about it. You see, then who is that self? And everyone is other, but who is that self? False I is the self. Your legitimate yourself also include within the others in relation to that. So it is right to say only work for the benefit of only only wish for others' happiness. Only wish for others' happiness is a absolutely most beneficial statement. It's a correct statement. And that is not excluding you. You are included. You see, so many do misunderstand that you are excluded, and sometimes we misunderstand. Many of the individuals who choose self-liberations are misunderstood of this statement. As if that let's say you try to be, so like kind of hero, before you even know how to help yourself, you want to help others. It's ridiculous. People think ridiculous. You see, no. When you help others, yourself is the first person. You see, so what need is there to say more? The childish pursue their own interests, while the Buddhas act for the welfare of others. Observe the difference between these two. Yeah. Why we are here, why the numberless Buddhas have achieved enlightenment, just because of these two different mindset is the one that caused these two different kind of life. Among all the affliction that have harmed you since beginningless time, this self-grasping is the worst. This jealous, evil-ridden force that makes being commit negative act against all other beings, from high spiritual teacher to lies, reside right here in you. It obscures the attainment of the freedom from silent existence and ties being further into bondage. So this force welcomes all human and non-human agent of harm. This owl-headed betrayer is the very mind that grasps onto the I or self and seek only its own selfish needs. Thinking in this manner, you should recognize the enemy as an enemy. And for that, Shantideva stated this. With all the hundreds of world system of silent existence, this has harmed me. Rouse your vengeance thus and destroy thoughts of self-interest. So even you born as the highest, even the gods of the 33 realm. So this self-grasping ignorance will continue to harm us. You see. So whichever we remain within the bondage of karma, then this self-grasping is the main intent that bring this suffering existence. You see. So we have to get out of that entire 6 realms. So the way to do that is first, to overcome the self-grasping ignorance. If you still feel unable to eradicate this self-grasping, then cultivate the following thought, like this. This time it is different. Today I have sought a spiritual teacher. I have read the sutras, and as a result, I have now recognized the enemy. So we sometimes have to talk to ourselves like that. You see, all the earlier quotations, you can use as a reminder, or whatever summary of the knowledge that how much the self-grasping ignorance or the false I have, looted you from entire happiness, entire virtue up to today. Always making sure that we stay in samsara. Making sure we stay cycle. Sometimes, just give you a kind of like little bit of bonus, which is fake one. Make us, how to say, spend some time in the God realm with abundance. Sometime, born in the human realm with good health, prosperity, but then most of the time, make sure that we are in the hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realm, like that. You see, so as one statement, the self-grasping ignorance, self-cherishing attitude is the one that brought all the miseries in our life. You see, so now I understood. You see, you take the advantage of my softness, of the softness of the heart, like such as desire, and you take the advantage of that, then make me commit all the karma in relation to desire. You see, as if you are caring for my needs. You see, so and you take advantage of, you see, my disliking, and fuel me to accumulate all the karma related to anger, as if, like you are giving me power. You use all the different language, all the different methods to telling you that, that's your power. If you be patient, if you be compassionate, then you taught me as a weakness. So you cheated me like that. You see, as if you kind of concerned only about me, and let me forget the rest of the other existence. Really like kind of put me in the darkness of ignorance, as if you are like caring only me, you don't care anybody else, only me, and you looted me like that. Now I wake up. You see, I met the teacher, correct teacher, the Buddha. I met the Dharma, the beneficial wisdom. I have all the sutras that I can even have in my mobile phone. No need to go to library to search the library. No need to kind of carry a very heavy book in the luggage. I want to travel light. Now everything in my mobile phone. You see? And I look at my mobile phone more than anything else. You see? So therefore, now ignorant, you have no chance. You have no chance to be full-time with me, because I'm full-time with my mobile phone. Then in my mobile phone, every apps I open the sutra. So you start to put your the mobile phone, the screen protector, certain very, don't have to be same code for everybody. Whatever you feel is the most effective, just choose that quotation. Put in your screen protector. Then it's a mobile phone. There's few, isn't it? One is screen. Then after that, there's the one, another one. So basically everywhere. So until like the ignorant has no opportunity to kind of cheat us again, because you see. So yeah, so we have to talk to. It's very much like talking to a person who's been cheating from long time. They say now you have no chance. So we have to do like that. You see. So that's why. Now I think the mobile phone is okay, or iPad or whatever. So in the past, when these gadgets are not there, we recommend like put the Dharma book everywhere. You see, even in the bed, like if you have 2 tables, put one here, put one here, put it somewhere there, put somewhere behind. You see, so wherever you go, it's like you have no choice, but you at least have to read one of them. Otherwise, you feel bad because everywhere there's a book. Then it's like, the best is like one side is Lambrim, another side is Bodhisattva Avadacharya or Lojong text. These two is like inseparable from you, like that. You see, but now you can make that within your iPad. You see, in the iPad you put a lot of your guru's pictures, and the moment you open, you see your gurus remind you, or quotations, whatever it may be. Maybe that mantra that which suits you the most, that remind you all the Dharma. So everybody is different. So you choose something that reminds you right there, without needing to kind of understand, apply logic, reasoning, reminds you the value of the Dharma, or reminds you not to stay under the control of self-grasping ignorant. You see, if you have your own home, which is you are the boss, then all direction, like even great master like Jabja Lama Sopa Rinpoche, it's like in all direction. There's no space where there's no holy object. Even to the toilet, even to the entering to the toilet, got the mantras. Can you imagine? You see, why not? You see, why not? Everywhere. And Rinpoche don't need that, but actually this is, I always used to think Rinpoche is teaching us how to design the house, how to design your room. You see, if that is your permanent house, so you see, all direction is holy object. Whichever direction you look is the reminder of the Dharma. That's really, really amazing. You see, now some people may say, no, I'm a traveler to the world. I have no one place to settle. Fine, Rinpoche again teach. You see, so whatever he carries, few suitcase, he's always overweight. There's one time until that need to take another extra attendant is cheaper than the overweight. So much of sutra. So one time I remember, so that also during when I was attendant. So I think we are traveling to Hong Kong or Taiwan or something like that. So Venerable Roger said, Rinpoche, there's so many texts that you don't read. And it's so heavy, it costs, $1,000 over. Can you just take away? Because after a few months, we are coming back here. So, of course, Rinpoche, sit like that, So all the luggage, Roger opened in front of Rinpoche. There's at least 4 or 5 of them. So Rinpoche sit down, he just very, very obediently sit down. So he take this text, put here, put into the another suitcase. From another suitcase, the text, he say, put here, put into this suitcase. So attendant Venerable Roger, he's the one that who have to come out money, isn't it? So he was sitting like that, very seriously, So I'm a small person from corner, just watching. Of course, I have to help Rinpoche, okay, put there, it's okay. So after about 3 hours, took about 3 hours or more. So like that. Then after that, he say, okay, close. So we close, and when Venerable Roger come out, he say, where's all the text? Take out. They say, no, all is need one. So we say, but Rinpoche, you don't read them, all of them. So then Rinpoche says, when it goes into aeroplane, he says, numberless sentient beings. Numberless sentient beings, which this text, you go on the foot, nowhere can you reach. Now going for the aeroplane, So all the numberless sentient beings, the bacteria will be blessed, So therefore, even, yes, but this one, even though not reading, but it's so beneficial, so important, must bring. So then there about one suitcase or almost 2 suitcases, holy object. Even one Buddha's picture, there's hundreds of pictures. So it's so heavy with physical paper, pictures. So then the one suitcase of relics. With relics are in the pauper stupas, the heavy, with respect. Some are like crystal kind of stupas, etc., etc. So bring. So then one time, just an example. So I think, I don't know which airport we have to stay. There's a transit, I don't know, I have no idea, maybe 10 hours or something. But in the hotel itself, we have about 6 hours. So we check into the hotel. So the moment check in, so Rinpoche asked me to open all the texts, all the suitcase, and arrange as altar. So because all the texts arranged. So then after that, request to borrow the glass, as many glass as possible to make waterable offering. But we have 6 hours only. So the try to get some help, which I think the hotel people are not so happy also. So bring all the like this long glass like that. I said very good, you know. So I said offer water bowl. He said more. He said more. So I think many glasses until I can see the hotel people are not happy, but they are trying very best to help. Before even finishing making offering, we have to check out. So have to repack, you know. So we make dedications, you know. Before even finish offering, pack. You see, and then all the pictures not just simply stack up like that. You know, you put nicely arrange, you know, properly arrange as an altar like that, you know, and. Always, you know, he would prefer to arrange one table in the center. And so that's the place where, you know, put all the relics, stack up, all the pictures, you know, all the tags, whatever, you know, small put around. Then he would try to circumambulate. He would try to do prostration. He would try to do mandala offering. So there's not even one moment of pause that he will, okay, now I'm resting. So even in that 6 hours, just an example, even doing all these different practices. So then every time when you see dead animals like flies, so you will pick up them. He will circumambulate, you know, the relics and stupa, you know. So this is someone like him, already enlightened, but I think this is a teaching for us. You know, we should try our best to have similar. Not necessarily so many until you need to pay excess luggage, but I mean, whatever you can be just one stupa, you know, one picture, whatever. But you know, be your room, whichever hotel you're residing or wherever you go, you know, be that as your merit field, and you relate your time there with the limits of practice like that, you know. So if you stay like that, then there's no room for our mind to hijack by, you know, self-grasping ignorance, self-cherishing attitude, and all the delusions, you know. So yeah, so I think it's a key break. What's a break? Yes.
So when I hear this example of all the different relics, books, and I compare it to the example of the nun that only had,
which both
in my head, I see a contradiction.
Okay. Yeah. So I think maybe like the Rinpoche's practice, I think is a teaching for people like me. I have no time, I have no concentration, dedication like the nun that I can stay in one place, endure, you know, such nothingness. I don't think I can. So people like me, like, you know, like almost like nomad. You see, I move almost every week, don't know where. I live in the suitcase. So for me, the Rinpoche's way, it suits to me. How wonderful if I have the opportunity, like the courage, like the time, no need to deal with anybody, you know, be in the Himalaya in such a quiet place. I would definitely like to do the nuns way, but I think so it's not both are great example, you know, according with what suits to us. But for me, I think at this moment, I would choose the Rinpoche's way because I have no opportunity, the nun's way. Yeah, I hope that one day I have such courage. And Rinpoche, because he has so many students, so many centers, so he is the teacher. So he have to travel all the time, and that's the only way. Rinpoche literally live in the suitcase. Yeah, you see, so like that. Okay. Okay, so we have a half an hour break. Thank you. Hello, welcome back. You have any thing to talk in relation to what we have discussed up to now?
Thank you. You talked about Lori kind of in an inadvertent way. So I thought I'd ask something.
Talk about what?
Lorig, like mind the mental.
I see, okay.
Yeah. Thought I'd ask something that me and my friend have been discussing in dinner. Why is bodhicitta a primary mind and not a mental factor? That's what he asked me.
Oh, it's a mental factor.
Bodhicitta?
Yeah.
Aha. Well, so there was
It's mind. As long as mind, everything is. Yeah. It's not. Oh, okay.
It's not a
mind and mental factor. Okay. Okay. Mm. 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 What is the reason why it's not mental factor?
Well, he said the bodhicitta is a primary mind, and he wanted to. In his mind, it's kind of a mental factor, and he. But apparently, the teachings that he received saying that bodhicitta is a primary mind and therefore not a mental factor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think that referring to, the innate, the innate Tathagata essence, the relative Tathagata essence, is the in fact is the bodhicitta potential. So in relation to that, you can understand as it is the primary. But otherwise, the expressions of the bodhicitta, also can be you call mental factor. So I think here mental factor, I think you are talking about Semjung, Zosem and Semjung, I think. The Zosem, the primary mind, is in relation to being the innate quality of the mind, the very much the origin. Mm-hmm. But then it is characteristic that which make up bodhicitta, the aspirations like such as wanting enlightenment for yourself and wanting enlightenment for others, that can be a mental factor. So in which angle that you are asking, you are referring to, can be defined difference. Yeah. So there can be debates, what kind of assertion from different understanding from different philosophical point of views. And so you have to, based on which philosophical view it is understanding about the different factor of the mind. Generally, the 51 mental factors or the discussion on primary and secondary mind based on the Vaibhasika and Saudantika, based on that. Okay. Somewhere behind. So since you're going to Sarah, you debate. You present this question, and you present this question to few. Start with the Venerable Geshe, then try to make sense to it. So yeah. So this debate will carry on entire your study there for 20 over years. It still won't solve the problem.
We have been learning about result of our karmas. I can understand in individual context, but when it comes on a very mass scale suffering, like, for example, so-called upper caste people caused a lot of sufferings to low caste people in India, and then what happened with blacks, or what happened in Germany, what happened in recent Israeli-Palestine conflict. Thousands of people died because of one person's decision or something wrong in the system. Can be connected with karmas of individuals? That's my dilemma.
Yeah. So karma, there's an individual karma and a collective karma. So, the group of people experiencing the same situation understood from the point of view of karma, there's a contribution from everybody, including of those bacteria and those spirits, any living being that experiencing experiencing the activities, and like whatever happening there, even to the rest of the world, the entire world, people and living beings in this world, also indirectly affects, and in that sense, there's a collective karmic contribution from every being, from the point of view of understanding of karma. But there's the intensity, the how much contribution to this collective experience is very much dependent on the individual karma. So this is what I understood. So yes, the why even in the same situation, why someone suffer more, someone suffer less, it is the it's difficult to take it, but based on the understanding of karma, then the individually has contributed to the experience on the basis of collective contributions of the actions of the past. So to purify, individually also need to put effort, and they collectively also need to purify it. So if collectively not engaging in any antidotes, purifications of such karma, then the experiences will not completely able to overcome. But individually engaging into purification of the karma, then individually can get out of that situation. Can be free from that situation. That experiences. So even no one is. Rest of the others are not solving the problem, but we individually still have freedom to solve, at least for our own freedom. So this is based on how karma works. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. You mentioned that the mind, that we need to assign different parts of the mind different roles. So, like using the walkie-talkie example. So you mentioned introspection and mindfulness, and how when one gets weaker, the other gets stronger. So when mindfulness gets weaker, then introspection gets stronger, and vice versa. So, like, it's a little bit hard because it almost feels like there's a third thing, the part of the mind that doesn't listen and just does its own thing. But could you maybe clarify about if it's just those two, the mindfulness and the introspection, or if there is a third thing that makes us unaware of what we're doing and just goes on its own?
Yeah, definitely there's a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, many. So, for the initial level of, training guarding our mind. The main tools are still introspection, mindfulness and introspection. Then eventually, then we don't need that. Even we don't need mindfulness. We also don't need introspection. It's this natural guard, naturally carries the iman to protect. Beside these two minds, even if these two minds are present, then there are other minds that can be even more forceful than these two. Surely, at the beginning, most of the negative emotions are, greater forceful than mindfulness, introspection. That's what I'm experiencing now. See, but then the strengthening, the train to strengthen the steadfastness or the power of the mindfulness introspection can be done. And the way to do that is also none other than being mindful. To strengthen the power of mindfulness is to be mindful. So each time you be mindful, the power of mindfulness get better. Similar to the introspection, there's no other way to strengthen our mindfulness introspection. So the mindfulness can grow into different beneficial attitudes, different beneficial wisdoms. This mindfulness can grow into like shamatha. Mindfulness can grow into wisdom of emptiness. So the introspection also can grow into the highest level of introspection is actually the vipassana kind of mind. This special insight in the language of Lamrim. That is the highest quality of that you can say highest quality of mindfulness and highest quality of introspection in the path of training. When you reach to that level, then very much not require efforts. It's a spontaneous kind of quality. So even along, there are great more bhumis or stages of the path. The training is still there. Is very much motivatedly kind of stay, get out of being that very, being absolutely in that aspect of mindfulness, the absorption kind of state. So you get out to the relative kind of world, which is called post-meditation. So that time, yes, there's a mindfulness, introspection, but not as strong, not as strong as during the meditation session. But these are still already achieved in the state of a spontaneous kind of realization. Not there's an effort, but not obvious effort. So then, when you become omniscient, then understood, complete effortless. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much for the precious teachings, Geshe. I heard yesterday that there are some minds that are non-conceptual, yet they need to be trained. Can you kindly clarify and expand on that training?
Okay, so non-conceptual mind, after you realize the wisdom of emptiness directly, which as a borderline, it happens when you already enter into the path and when you are in the Arya level. So based on the Buddhist philosophy, it emphasizes 5 paths, 10 bhumis. The first moment of starting of the 10 bhumis is the borderline, is the starting of where you can, you very much, your mind free of, conceptual dualism. That meditative kind of process, talking about that, But when you are out of meditative equipoise, then it can falls into conceptual. When you train in practice of the method aspect of the path, like loving kindness, compassion, it can be conceptual, it can be non-conceptual, either way, dependent on how much influence that you carry from the meditative equipoise. So in short, the training very much in the non-conceptual minds are within the path of seeing. There's 5 paths, ordinary path and the Arya path. So 2 are ordinary path, which call the path of accumulation, path of preparation. Then the Arya path, which is right after purifying the conceptually bound mind. Then there are 3 more paths. From the 3, 2 are within the training as like Arya beings path, called path of seeing and path of meditation. Then the last one is path of normal learning, which is the path within the liberated realm, the Buddha's realm. So in order to reach to that, non-conceptual kind of qualities of your concentration or wisdom, it require great amount of merit. So in Buddhist scripture, in the Mahayanic context of practice, say in order to get enlightened, you need to accomplish 3 countless eons of merit. It is just emphasizing, great stores of merit that you need to accumulate. So for 3 countless. So after accomplishing the first countless eons of merit, then very much, very soon, if not immediate, but very soon, you will actualize the wisdom in the ability of apprehending, phenomena, apprehending self and phenomena in non-conceptual level, non-dualistic level. So then from there, I think your question, I think, very very subtle, in one way. You're asking, what do you mean, or how to train the non-conceptual mind? So in fact, there's almost not required to train non-conceptual mind, because that is the purest state of mind. But then again, if you release from the meditative equipoise, it indulges in conceptual environment, it turns into conceptual mind. So due to that, we claim that even that non-conceptual state of process, until it become omniscient, it still need to be trained. Still the mind of trainee. Even though there's nothing need to be trained. It's the sameness, the wisdom of direct realization of emptiness on the first bhumi. The quality is the same that the wisdom realizing emptiness of the Buddha's wisdom, same. But then from the so when the mind become discursive, when the mind released to discursive environment, then there comes difference. In the path of training, it's not perfected. For path of non-training, which is the Buddhahood, then it's fully perfected. There won't be any flaws. Like there won't be any influence of defilements. But otherwise, still you are not total free from the defilement. So the training has to happen in the channel of the method aspect of the path. And by training in the method aspect of the path, from the first bhumi to the 10th bhumi, the non-conceptual abiding wisdom will kind of progress. Even though there's nothing to progress, sameness, but it's still progress. Become first level to the second level to until 10th level. Then from 10th level until become a part of non-training. And that is simply because of the development of the method aspect part, the bodhicitta. So you get my point? Okay. So nothing to train, but at the same time need to train. Okay. Yeah. So just to add one more, sorry. So you see, it's like this, the wisdom bodies of the Buddha understood as a permanent phenomena. So if we get into the philosophical kind of environment, from the perspective of understanding from the philosophical point of view, then there's a discussion about cause and effect in relation to interdependently existent, and everything is interdependently existent. Even Buddhahood is, interdependently existent. Buddhahood achieved by the cause. But when you talk about cause and effect, it has to be only reasonable to the impermanent phenomena. If it's permanent phenomena, then there's no conversation about cause and effect, and it against being permanent. So therefore, but at the same time, Buddhahood is result of the cause. But at the same time, Buddhahood itself, like Buddhahood, is actually also permanent phenomena, not impermanent phenomena. You see, so how Buddha would achieve? It has to be achieved due to the right cause, isn't it? So in that meaning, then the cause of the wisdom body of the Buddha, or cause of the Buddhahood, has to be something that which is in the category of the impermanent phenomena. If that's the case, then the direct cause of the wisdom body of the Buddha is result of emptiness wisdom. So emptiness, direct cause should be emptiness. So now, in that sense, then emptiness has to be impermanent phenomena, but emptiness actually is a permanent phenomena. So how permanent phenomena become a cause of something is not possible. It against the reality, how cause and effect works. So the wisdom body is still result of the cause, but not the result of the cause which is defining the emptiness as it is cause. Even though the wisdom body is the it came into existence because of the emptiness, or because of the emptiness wisdom of the training. But it is achieved because of the training in the method aspect of the path. Then when the method aspect of the enlightened quality is achieved, then the natural body or the wisdom bodies are naturally achieved, almost like achieved by the way. So therefore, it is not necessarily has to be production of the cause, but it is achieved by the cause of something, but it is not a result of the cause. So anyway, so that's no wonder it takes 20 over years to, so this makes us more confused. So anyway, but it's nice, once you get into this world, then you don't feel hungry, you don't feel tired, you can go on and on. So anyway, please.
Thank you, Geshe.
Yeah.
The question is about the meditation on emptiness, on the object of negation.
Mm-hmm.
So your meditator said how important it is to get the correct object of negation.
Okay. Can you go a little bit?
So you and many teachers have said that it's very important to get the correct object of negation.
Oh, yes.
In particular, the Prasangika Madhyamika object of negation.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, how do you take whatever intellectual understanding one can get from studying tenets and studying the treatises? How do you get this understanding into the actual meditation?
Yeah.
Because let's say the Sautrantika object of negation, the self-sufficient, substantially existent self, or the Prasangika object of negation, inherent existent self, or the Svatantrika Madhyamika, but when you look at the eye, it doesn't appear like a merely labeled eye. It appears like has some substantial existence. But how in the meditation you can pick the correct one? And how do you take the intellectual understanding into a meditation?
Like I briefly mentioned on the thing when we discussed about the emptiness. Firstly, it is utmost important to understand, recognize the exact negation in order to realize, let's say, emptiness. Without realizing exact what the negation is, there's no way to realize emptiness. The emptiness is simply empty of the negation. Nothing more than that, you see. So it's just like the finding of, the very finding of, very finding that comes by negating the negation is the truth, is the wisdom, or is the ultimate nature. So the more the precise that you know the negation, more the precise that you will reach to the void of the negation. The self. You see. So the meaning, meaning of the Prasangika Madhyamikas, the negations of emptiness of self is the inherent existent self. And as I briefly mentioned before, to understand what exactly is, what exactly mean inherently existent self is simply mean substantial existent self. The Sautrantika Madhyamikas negation, the presented negation, it is the characteristic of what it means inherently existent. You see, the dualism is the characteristic of the inherently existent. Including mention about the permanently existent self, independently existent self, autonomically existent self are the assertions of the non-Buddhist philosophy, non-Buddhist schools, including the assertions of Atma. Is very much fall into, from the Buddhist philosophy point of view, it is a negation. It is referring to assertion of self as a permanent. So Atma, non-Buddhist philosophy, meaning what in Buddhist philosophy you see one of the very initial negation that pointed out by Vaibhasika school, Sautrantika school, is self being as a permanent. Takpa, Chipua, Rawawa, Tongwe, Dak. The Takpa is permanent. Chipua, what do you call? Unitary. Then the third one? Independent self. Tongwa. Empty of that is the self. The self empty of these three characteristics. But these three characteristics are very much is the proof of there is a self for the non-Buddhist philosophy, right? So, so even the meaning of inherently existing, it is characteristic as a permanent. So that's why if you manage to prove the self is not permanent, you already tear it out, one layer of the negation, what Prasangika Madhyamika defined. You see? Then after that you manage to take it out, peel it out, share it out, the independent existent self. Self as a not independently existent. Then self as a not autonomically existent. So you already reach to a quite a good position to the gradual kind of eliminating the negations of Prasangika's, what Prasangika presented. Then after that, the negation that Chittamatra had presented. And then after that, the negation that Sautrantika Madhyamika have presented. That very much the subtlest, the most subtle part of the characteristic of the negation that Prasangika presented. Once you get it, once you manage to take that out, you reach to a void. You reach to a void of inherent existent self. And reaching there is you realize emptiness of self. So that's the importance of why tenet, why these four the philosophical schools are presented. Like Asanga. Asanga is Chittamatran. He's a great Bodhisattva, by now enlightened. Yeah? But he chose to assert Chittamatran school, lower school, compared to Sautrantika Madhyamika or Prasangika Madhyamika. And it intendedly chose that position. You see, especially in relation to the view, to realize the views of emptiness, the main reliance master after Buddha, main reliance master, or the treatise that the commentaries that we mainly rely two masters, Nagarjuna and Asanga. These two are prophesied by Buddha. So there are so many masters out there, so many compositions out there. Of course, we study rigorous, we study many philosophy, many texts, but you need one source that you can arrive. You can depend. You can take as a source to prove whether any of the other knowledge are valid or not. So usually we choose two masters, Nagarjuna and Asanga. Of course, along with the Nagarjuna school, like Chandrakirti, like Dharmakirti, etc., Aryadeva, definitely is there. But the principle is these two masters. And these two masters' philosophical view is so different. It's a great difference. But then again, you see, even the Chittamatran mind-only school view is so low compared to the Prasangika Madhyamika view, but that is so profound, so advanced, comparing to all the view that normally, naturally, or most of the philosophical uphold. Compared to that is so profound. So when you manage to assert Chittamattana view by negating all the rest of the lower views, including of the non-Buddhist philosophical views on the assertion of emptiness of self, you very much reach to a very high standard knowledge of wisdom of emptiness. When you reach there, then it's almost like you are stable. You see, and where to define that I have correct view up to then is relying on Asanga's work. Because of its proper size, authentic size. So whatever other master you study, always refer to Asanga's work, whether it's aligned with Asanga's work or not. Then from there, moving forward to the final view of emptiness, then Nagarjuna is the one, you see, especially this Karsa, Savasharam, how you call? Root wisdom, Savasharam. So that's the thing, Savasharam. That's the even though there's a six kind of Riksotuk, six kinds of compositions are there on the wisdom of emptiness, but Savasharam is the heart, and best if you can, for a very, very advanced study, really you want to make sure that, like nothing goes wrong in the study of emptiness, then best is you memorize Savasharam. And it's actually not that many pages, actually quite short, maybe, I don't know, 25 something kind of page. Of course, it's the toughest text. There's no tougher text than that, but you use that as a base to kind of validate, any teachings that exist in the world, in the universe. You see, so even the hundreds of treatises by Buddha himself also kind of bring to validate within that the root text, because Buddha's own words are very difficult to organize in a limited word, because and also a lot of teachings are taught indirect way. But then in the Savasharam, it's very straightforward. So because of very straightforward, it feels it's very hard. But then you have certain knowledge of the commentaries, and when you refer that, that is the clearest. So now, Lama Tsongkhapa's work, even because Lama Tsongkhapa came much later than Nagarjuna, and he based on Savasharam, he based on Nagarjuna, and within the Tibetan great masters, is not being biased because of Gelug, Nyingma, Sakya. Everybody agrees. Lama Tsongkhapa's work on emptiness is the clearest and easiest for us to understand. And it is the subtlest way of understanding, or understood the exact intent of Buddha's wisdom on emptiness by understanding the exact intent of Nagarjuna. So therefore, Lamrim, many of you went to Kopan November course, that you went to study Lamrim. So in short, if we don't have a time to study like 20 over years or 30 over years, that also totally, actually after 25 years, you get more confused. Honestly, after studying, like all the Geshe program, I'm literally become more Buddhu, in Indian word called Buddhu. What is the called Buddhu? Stupid? Yeah, so become more stupid.
become more confused, So just try to pretend to be know very well, but actually no, actually more confused. So anyway, so that's why because of you get more and more confused. That's why you become greater and greater scholar. You see, so now to stay less confused, but then at the same time, get everything in short period of time. Lamrim. So that's why I usually recommend that try to chew the Lamrim Chemo, the great Lamrim. You see, of course there are many, even Lama Tsongkhapa by himself, great Lamrim, middle Lamrim, small Lamrim, experiential Lamrim. There are many. Then also there are so many commentaries. Go for the Lamrim Chemo, the great Lamrim. And many people stop at the wisdom chapter. No, don't stop. That's the thing you arrive. That's the point that you start actually. You see, the rest are all preparation. So when you manage to understand even the intellectual understanding of the correct view of emptiness, when you understand the wisdom chapter of Lamrim Chemo, you very much equally understood the core, the understanding that you're supposed to get from 25 over years of Geshe study. Because Lamrim Chemo, it presented with the flavor of philosophy also, then instruction also, then structured Lamrim way also. So everything, and all the work Lama Tsongkhapa already done. Otherwise, in a monastery, Geshe study, we have to do work of, searching from all different texts, then going into the debate, you have to debate word by word, blah, 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 But in Lama Tsongkhapa done all the work and put in that wisdom chapter. What only need is we just need time to even just reading, you will feel yummy. You see, so just reading, even without kind of someone like going through it, especially if you heard some kind of like a little introduction or summary on emptiness, like what we are doing here, and when you read the Lamrim Chemo, the wisdom chapter, oh yes, this is it. Oh yes, this is it. And if you have a little bit of clarification on the tenets, because the Lamrim Chemo, one thing people find difficult is that sometimes don't know what to assert, what not to assert, because there's a philosophical presentation. Means always there's a presentations of the view that which actually debates with. You see. So there are views that presented from other schools. So when you have a rough understanding on the four tenets, then you will spot, oh, this is actually view of that school. And by understanding this, actually that supplement to make sure that you understand better of the actual view, like that, So now Middle Leng Lamrim, the wisdom chapter, is already, which is good if you can combine together. If you get confused from the Great Lamrim on the wisdom chapter, refer to the Middle Leng Lamrim wisdom chapter. Because the Middle Leng Lamrim wisdom chapter, Lama Tsongkhapa himself taken away most of this debate system. Comparing between the school system is already clear so much. So quite straightforward, Pasangika school, So from there, help you to get more elaborate from the Lamrim Chemo, of the final assertion of the Pasangika view, you see. So, I think Middle Leng Lamrim Chemo composed earlier, much earlier. So Middle Leng Lamrim, I think he composed, quite close before he passed away. After he have done a lot of teaching, a lot of compositions, and then he kind of come to a like final kind of statement.
not. It's more about like his own kind of conclusion. Don't want to do any more debates. Don't want to go straight forward. So Miracle Lamre is more like an instructional guide for learning and for practice. You see, yeah, like that. Okay, thank you. So I will read a little bit. Oh yes, please.
I'm wondering, how do you go about destroying the self-I with compassion? Because I understand which I you refer to, which self you refer to, but when I read this idea of yourself is the enemy, I'm wondering how not to go into the blame, guilt path that maybe other traditions in Catholic countries may be misreading of the sacred text, but went in a very forced way, right? Like if you really feel the guilt, and you will have a way to either pay for your sins, hell, heaven, etc. I think you're familiar with that, but an effective way of destroying that false I with compassion.
Yeah. So I think to eliminate here, whenever we talk about self, we're talking about the false self, the falsely established I. Every effort, every steps, try to negate, try to purify that false I, is a work of compassion. At least to one person, which is yourself, because the false I is the reason that I suffer, is the reason that I'm in samsara, is the reason that I have done mistakes, is the reason that I have guilt. The guilt is just simply expressions of false I, not the expressions of legitimate person. It's a false I. First of all, even getting into mistake, getting into doing something that bring guilt to you, guilt to the person, is very much due to following the instructions of the false I, even though which is not there at all, but it appeared to be there and instructed to do those whatever that put this person into a difficult position or doing wrong things. You see, so therefore, from the very first stage, just want to know who is the real person, who is not real person, who is real me and who is not. It's already the job of compassion is started from that very first moment. Because of the compassion means you don't want to suffer, isn't it? You want to liberate from the suffering, isn't it? So if that is the thing, then you need to find the root where the suffering comes from, and the root is nothing other than the self-grasping ignorant, the false person, the false I. You see, so. So we may need to apply some logics to convince yourself this is happening. Firstly, the logic of where the suffering comes from. Self is the one that is not talking about the person who purify the karma, the person who eventually get enlightened. We are not talking about that person. That's the real person. We are talking about the falsely established person, which at the moment appears that is you, and which is not you. You see, and yeah, it takes quite an effort to figure it out. Who is really you and who is really not you. You see. So. Yeah. So therefore, the analytical observation on the no self, and also the that has to apply. The analytical meditation on no self need to exercise. That way, then we come to a quite clear, the difference between legitimately existent self and non-existent self. You see, the moment you figure it out, that you will very much also come to a term that actually there's nothing to be regretted. For in the first place, there's no creator of that to bring to that regret. When you lost the false self, then whatever is created by false self, it shouldn't be there, isn't it? Right? That's even the common logic. We can get to that point. You see, even defining what is right, what is wrong, is also confusion. It's dualism, ultimately. You see, we are actually kind of put into a very difficult position of defining too many this and that, right and wrong. And we very much live our life in that kind of confusion. You see, but this is again is not as simple as it sounds. So you see. So now here, ultimately, there's only one truth. Even though we define true truth, relative truth, ultimate truth, the truth about relative world, say negative action, negative karma, that is the relative activities. Yeah, let's say causing life of somebody. That is the relative karma. It is out there, legitimately out there. If kind of cause, let's say you step onto the ant and hurt the ant, that's real, isn't it? But that is only real to the relative mind, but it is not real to the ultimate mind. It is only true to the relative truth, but actually it's not. Even that also is a false. So you see, so you need to get into up to that level. You want to call deep. You see, it sounds like you're talking crazy like that, you're out of mind. But actually that is not out of mind, The rest is actually almost out of mind, actually. So to break that, that dualism is not easy. Just wisdom is not enough. So it requires so much of merit, all these preliminaries, practices, so the creations of merit is another big force for us to break through. Otherwise, even how scholarly, capable in your philosophy, understanding, it cannot break through. You may be able to, explain very clearly, but the real experience, you won't be able to experience it. So you see, in fact, the understanding of correct information is actually very limited knowledge. You see, there's not much word, especially to do with the emptiness. It has the least word. You see, what means emptiness? You say, interdependent existence. What do you mean by interdependent existence? Means emptiness. Can you say more? There may be maybe few more. Lack of inherent existence, lack of true existence. There are 4 or 5 only. After that, you have to repeat that. Honestly, there's word-wise is not much there. You see, so profound but so limited word. Now only to get to the absolute point is very much with the help of merit. Of course, on the basis of correct understanding of this meaning of these few words. You see, so there's only one truth. That's why ultimately everything in one taste. Even nirvana and samsara also understood as one taste. You see, good and bad also understood in one taste. So this is quite shocking to the relative world, isn't it? How can you say killing and not killing one taste? Patient and scolding in one taste. Woman and man, one taste, one entity. How possible? I and you, one taste, one entity. But ultimately, that's it. Ultimately, that's the only thing is truth out there. That's the only thing is right. Everything is wrong. There's the only one thing is right. That's the only thing. The rest is all mistakes. That's why even make a statement that all the mind of ordinary beings are flaws. So everything flaws. Mind of ordinary beings. So basically whatever we see, we never see the truth about us, about others, about everything. You see. So so that but here is the worth putting effort, isn't it? I think even when we say dharma, ultimately referring to that ultimate truth. Dharma in different languages, dharma means referring to emptiness. The wisdom of emptiness is called the Dharma wisdom. And everything else is a tool to make sure we understand Dharma, understand emptiness. Everything else is the tools to make us realize the wisdom of emptiness. And everything is for tools for us to fully awaken in the wisdom of emptiness. So that's not an easy task. But then again, even just mentioning the word, it understood that it cracks the steadiness of samsara. That much benefits, Okay, I think we need to stop for lunch. Okay. Thank you.